more disciplined team than the other team to win a game.
Defensively, is Georgia about what you expected? Any different?
Oh, they were a great team. I mean, they're fast, they're big.
Sorry, just got in here to you. Did they split you out? Is that a new thing for you when you were split out wide as wide receiver?
No, I've been doing that since I got here. That's just part of the offense. When we get into 2 minutes, split me out a little bit.
Well, it did open you up a lot. Can you just reflect on the third and fourth quarters, fighting back? The team showed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to give up. That's just my mentality, and I think a lot of us had on the offensive side. We had an awful first half, and we knew we had to come out and put points on the board. So we just were trying our best to, put as many points on the board to come back.
What happened in the huddle, or just the feel that was out there after they onside kick, and then I think they throw you off for 2 losses, and really the offense didn't do anything for 3 series.
I mean, we had great field position. We got to take advantage of that, and it's just disappointing. I mean,
is it anything they did differently from those first series?
I wouldn't know. They covered up the first play, I know, on first down pretty well, and the guy came off the edge and got BA. And then the second one, I was out and around, so I have no idea.
The sudden change of plays, the fumble return for the touchdown, the interception in the end zone, the fumble in the 10, obviously those are hard to overcome. But as a player, what do you have to be able to do to try to overcome that?
I think it's mental toughness. I mean, you still have to lock in. I mean, you still have to go out and play. It was the second quarter at that time, and you still have 3 more quarters to go, a whole half to go. And I think you just have to block it out, 1-0 mentality, and continue to fight.
Do you think showing the fight you did in the second half is something the team might could build on? Is that the one thing out of this that helps or not?
No, that doesn't help at all. I mean, we lost the game. We didn't play a good enough game to beat them.
Thank you. Just quickly, what do you think about Chubb?
He's a big-time running back. He runs very hard.
They found some gaps there in the line. What did they find, and how were y'all not able to stop him in that first half?
I really couldn't tell you. He found his way through the holes, and that kind of gassed us a lot. So I really couldn't tell you. I was out there on the field. So.
Did you guys get anything positive out of this game? Just the way you fought back or anything?
We came out in the second half, fought back very hard. But it's hard to get something positive out of a loss. But we got to find it somewhere. So we'll look over the film and try to see if it's something positive.
Thanks.
Team at all. Second half we talked as an offense. We're hoping to use every time we get the ball, go and score touchdowns. And I was proud of the guys in that aspect. We did a good job of moving down the field and scoring. But like you said, we put ourselves in such a big bind in the first half. It's tough to come back from that.
You've thrown 85 passes the last 2 weeks. That's not really your formula for success. How tough is that when you have to throw it that many times?
You do what you got to do to win. And when certain teams are taking things away, you have to change up your game plan. You have to do certain things that are going to benefit the team. And so however many passes it takes to throw, 40 or 10, it doesn't matter. We're doing whatever it takes to win games.
You guys had an 8-minute drive to start the game when you were rolling. I mean, just what happened after that?
We started out so well and kind of fell apart. Again with turnovers and penalties that were killing us, and I think Coach B said there's such uncharacteristic things of us as an offense, and I think we had a fumble return for a touchdown. So anything that happens, it's tough. We just put ourselves in that bind, and we had to try and climb out of it, and it was kind of too deep to get out of.
Do you think that missed PAT took some wind out of your sails?
It's a special teams deal. It's not something we worry about as an offense. We do what we do. We get the ball in the end zone, and then when that phase goes out there, it's their job. So I have nothing about that.
It's 16 straight SEC losses now. I know you haven't been here for how long. I guess you have. Just how tough is that?
It's tough. Just trying to get that first SEC win, and it's not so much just winning the SEC. We know it's tough each and every week, and we have to play well enough within ourselves, and it just as an offense and defense, just not hurting ourselves if we want to even have a chance to win.
They sacked you 3 times and hit you a lot of times in that first half. I don't think technically you had a sack in the second half. Was there something different about the blocking scheme? Do you getting the ball away faster? Or?
We changed a few things, a little bit less play action, drop back passes. We're asking the line to hold up for a long time, and give them some credit. They got a lot of athletic guys on the D line and linebacking core, and kind of changed it up a little bit more quick game, a little things, just getting it out. And I thought they did a great job in the second half.
Think the Bama game took anything out of you guys from last week?
You can't blame anything on the week before, but we were ready for this game. We prepared well. We did a lot of things well all week, and just kind of hurt ourselves there in the first half, and got ourselves in a big hole that we had to try to climb out of in the second half, and just weren't able to get all the way out of it.
You guys had the ball in good field position after, I think it was Coley recovered the onside kick, with them back-to-back big sacks. How tough was that? Because it looked like maybe you guys would be able to go in and score, and instead you lose like 23 yards on 2 plays.
And that's tough, especially when you get a good field position, start a drive like that. You kind of want to try a shot, and we dialed one up, just didn't quite get it, and 2 sacks obviously are going to hurt your chances of getting first downs at least, or even scoring. So just kind of, again, just things that we're doing to ourselves.
What changed about their defense between that first drive and then the next 9 plays where y'all made 1 first down?
No, I think they kind of just stuck with what they do. They just do it really well, and we're able to use their athleticism to get around a lot of things and make plays. And again, with us turning the ball over didn't help at all. So without those turnovers, I think we have a better shot.
Yeah, and Coach Chain talked about they had cheetah cats on the outside the other day. But how fast and quick were those guys, those outside backers?
They're extremely athletic and very fast, and I think they showed that a lot today. They were able to get some pressure on the outside and do a lot of things well, and we just didn't play well enough to win.
You guys have been making such good progress, even with the losses. Been playing tight. I mean, how big a downer is this to get beat like this?
It's a downer just for the fact that we put ourselves in the hole that we were in the first half. Turnovers, giving them a touchdown on defense, and just it's so tough to do that to yourself, and then expect to have a second half to come all the way back out of that. And that's we didn't give up, didn't ever give up in the second half. Scored and tried to do everything we could. Just it was too deep of a hole for us.
Outside of the big hole.
Check. 1, 2,
Hey,
1,
can
2.
you turn that light off back there? Martrelle, you guys had a tough start. Just talk about trying to come back from the way you guys started.
We came in this game knowing that it was going to be a physical game, and they came out executed us in the first half, and just came out the second half and try to just know there's going to be a physical second half. So we just try to go down there and execute on our techniques.
How did so many things go wrong for you guys in the first half?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. The small amount of details turned to big things, and I think that's where it went wrong.
What about missing the Brooks Ellis today? How much did that hurt you today?
I mean, Josh, great players. We went out there and had some plays today. Like I said, it's more of people just doing minor issues, which turned to big plays, and that's where we went wrong today.
Hey, Martrelle, after the progression you guys have made the last couple of weeks and playing other teams well, how disappointing was it?
It's very disappointing knowing that we had a great game against Alabama and come back this game, and it wasn't a great defensive effort. But we just got to learn from our mistakes and come back next week.
Martrelle, what are your thoughts on Chubb?
Well, he's a great running back. He had a lot of great runs out there today. I see a bright future ahead of him.
Did he do anything that you guys weren't expecting?
Not really. We know that he was going to be a great back. Learned from his stats from the previous games he had, but he came out and executed. He had a great game.
You got surprised at how well you played last week. You come out and you give up so many points in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. It's very disappointing. We know that we're a better defense than what we showed out there the first half, and we just got to learn from our some minor details and just continue to keep executing and get better.
What was the difference? I mean, you obviously stepped up in the second half. Was it what you guys were doing? I mean, what did Coach tell you at halftime to make the play that way?
I mean, mainly we just came together and just said, okay, right here, right now, we just got to start playing that defense, play Arkansas football, and we came out the second half and just executed pretty much. Try our best to execute.
How do you guys pick yourselves up after the losing streak you guys are on? Just staying positive and trying to.
You gotta always have a positive attitude. Because if you go out there with a negative attitude, you get negative results. And we know that we're close. It's just minor details that we gotta continue to keep pressing forward to get better on, and we'll be a great team.
Martrelle, y'all have been a pretty disciplined team, and you had a couple unsportsmanlike things today. How do you think that impacted y'all?
It was huge for us. I turned around. I'm not really sure like what happened, but I just turned around and I seen flags flying everywhere. So I mean, we just gotta go out there and just be disciplined.
Do you think a cumulative effect of playing so close the last couple of games might have caught up to y'all today, some?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I just feel like it's just minor details that we need to execute on, and we didn't execute on them. And Georgia took advantage of it, and they had a great game.
Are there things that their players did that on the field that we don't see in the stands that would have incited some of that stuff? Was there a little chippiness out there on the field?
It was a little chippy, but I mean, it's just a game of football. Playing in the SEC. It wasn't nothing too special. It was just a physical game. Offense came out there and said they're going to run the ball and going to try to have a physical game, and that's what it was.
What effect did losing Braylon have there with that program?
Not really too much. I really didn't know he got kicked out of the game until towards the end of the game. I'm not really sure how he got kicked out and nothing of that nature, but it's just minor details all over the board that stopped us from being successful tonight.
Well, I just told our guys in there that one of the things I've really enjoyed doing is coaching these guys. I love the way that they kind of go about their business and handled themselves. But in that first half, we weren't ourselves. And the only person who's responsible for that is me. I guarantee 100% that I told them that's on me. Don't know what we did a little bit different, but came out. I really liked our offense. Just the way they put down the field, kind of executed our plan. Did a lot of really good things, but we didn't have any penalties. We didn't turn the ball over, and we executed on first down very successfully. And the result is you score. And then defensively, we gave up a big play right away that gave them momentum. Then another second pass play, and they went right down the field pretty easily, and our defense was on our heels. And I got to make sure that we understand it's not so much that you make a mistake or there's something that goes wrong. It's how you respond, and we didn't have the right response for that first half. Especially defensively. I think they understand that. Unfortunately, had done some really good things until the performance in the first half. I told them really I just didn't recognize some of the things that I saw out there today, to be quite honest. Didn't recognize guys that were being undisciplined, that were getting unforced errors, being very careless and reckless with the football. Didn't protect our quarterback particularly well, and resulted in points that just too much to overcome. So we talked about it at halftime. Explained to them what expectation was. I told our coaches to coach the game as though it was just starting all over again, because we'd taken some guys out, some of our starters that didn't play well, that were kind of not responding the right way. I wanted to go in with our guys in the second half full throttle, and I liked their response. Georgia's a good football team, give them a lot of credit. Anytime we started to get it a little bit close, they answered the score, and unfortunately too much in the end to overcome. I think the big thing is for us, we're just paper thin. We gotta do a better job of just continuing to develop our depth and get the right responses. As far as injuries, Andre Tolliver, the X-rays were negative, but he had a pretty significant sore spot there. Whether it's going to be a bruise or a strain, I think he is out obviously for this game, but shouldn't be out anything prolonged. Again, the X-rays were negative. I think that was pretty. I can't remember anybody else injured-wise from the game. So. Corliss Marshall. Corliss won't be with us for on the field for a period of about 3 to 4 weeks. It was some things that some choices that he made away from the game that are going to keep him out for a while. And the good news is I had a pretty spirited conversation with him on Monday or Tuesday. Took him out of our program for the week. I met with him on Friday. he's only got one more opportunity to get it right. If he doesn't get it right, probably be one of the saddest stories in my coaching career, because he's got a lot of talent and he's got a great heart. Just makes some poor choices, and those things won't be rewarded in our program, I guarantee that.
Not having Brooks Ellis and then great.
Yeah. The good news is Brooksy's coming along very, very well. I was excited to watch Josh play. I can't say specifically if if they went right at him, but obviously it was a first start for him against a very good, efficient run game, and did a lot of really good things. But to start a new Mike was I think a learning experience for us all. Oh yeah. Braylon had actually been playing really well, played well the week before, and this is a big game for him coming back over to Little Rock, and unfortunately went a little high on the quarterback, and I didn't really get to see the play, and obviously it was the correct call because they reviewed it and took him out of there. It's one of those things. Earlier in the day I was watching K-State and Oklahoma, and same kind of scenario where a guy was sometimes those calls happen. I don't think Braylon went after him or tried to go high or do anything like that, but guy's falling, he's trying to go hard. You're in a full sprint. It's really kind of hard to control yourself, but obviously they felt he launched or targeted it, and you got to pay the piper.
How defend themselves, the penalties haven't had the unsportsmanlike off the field third down.
Yeah, obviously, Tom, I agree 100%. Stupid. I will not coach that. I will not tolerate that. It's obviously starts with me and the behavior that I expect and set, but yeah, uncharacteristic. Tevin Mitchell until today, until that play, had been really having a special senior year. He kid that battled through a little bit, but today had a couple plays in the first half that got away from him. We benched him. I really didn't like the response. There was a play where we were out on the field defensively, and they're on the far bench over there feeling sorry for themselves, and it's just not what's expected. I gave him a little talk at halftime and tried to get him to bounce back, and I thought he did, but obviously that play there was a huge play. And, Demetrius Wilson just absolutely can't be tolerated to have a play away from the game.
What do you think happened? This progression going?
Yeah.
Does this happen?
Well, I think the biggest thing in a game of football, you work very hard, you train, you do all these things, and we've gone a long time without feeling the rewards of doing it. And those things just continue to build, and it just feels like when you're losing, everything goes against you. It seems like every call, every break, every bounce of the ball seems to go against you, and that's just what it is. And it's easy to look around and begin to wonder, but if you just stay focused, if you stay on task, if you stay on target, good things will eventually happen. And I got to get those guys to believe in the faith.
What's going on with Alex? It seems like
Alex Collins?
Yeah.
Last week, he did not have I think a great friend of mine going to the game. What happened last week was not surprising to me at all, but today I really thought he'd had a decent week of practice, done a lot of really good things, but again, I didn't see the play. I know the result. I didn't see exactly what happened, and quite honest, flipped over to the other headset right away. But he's a very good player that's in a little bit of a rut, and we got to do everything we can to get him out of it or find the next man in.
Targeting penalty.
Yeah.
The first time we've had a targeting.
It is, It is. Take a lot of pride in the way that we play, and we haven't had one of those calls. We constantly preach about it. If I see one in practice, or right away when I was sitting there before the game and saw that Oklahoma penalty with K-State, I knew I was going to take that clip and show our guys, because it's one of those teaching moments that until you really go through it, it may never actually really happen. And so we'll take that, but unfortunately it cost us a big moment.
I know you guys are very conscious of their outside linebackers, but what was the trouble keeping those guys?
Well, yeah, they had a couple quick pressures. I know one time early on there was, I believe the first turnover was somebody beat our tackle in real quick with an inside move, and obviously we really took a hard look at our protections. We were doing certain things where we could get BA to step up in the pocket, but some of those outside pressures really had a big time effect, and that's, I think, two of the strips on BA were outside pressure that eventually came around and got him from behind. No, you're good.
Is their early passing game a surprise to you? Is Conley a bigger factor?
I would say, yeah. I mean, obviously, to me, I always used to say this as a defensive coordinator. If the first play comes in a certain way, you know that they can't wait to get off the bus to run it. And that play that they ran on the very first play, to me, they'd probably been practicing that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Couldn't wait to get off the bus and run it today against our defense. And it's something that we got to take a look at and make sure that we, if we're tipping something off or we're not playing it with the correct technique, it should be a pretty fundamental call. We got a low corner. It should be beating them up. We should have a safety over the top, and it wasn't there.
How's Brandon doing physically? Because he got banged up in the first half.
Brandon?
Good point, Trey.
Brandon Allen? Yeah. You know, I think he had a cut on the hand, but he's a tough player. I think that play in the first half when he had to come out, he actually landed on the ball. That was probably what was sore on him more than anything. He wanted to go to the next play, but obviously we thought probably just take a minute to make sure that shoulder was okay. But he's banged up, but the biggest, I think, pain for him is his heart. He cares a lot about this football team. When you're the starting quarterback, you probably take way too much criticism and way too much reward when it comes your way, but I expect him to respond really, really well.
Get your back below 500 now. Keep this team focused on trying to get to 600.
You know, I think we're going to try to get to 4, and that's this week. It's a 1-0 mentality. You know, the sad part about the part that I try to really believe in is you take every day for what it is. It actually, that mentality came more out of when I was on a losing streak as a coordinator than we were on a winning streak. It's just that, because it's the feeling of that loss and all that work, and you get no reward out of it except for a loss. Then it can kind of compound on you. You got to get them to kind of forget those things. We definitely can't let Georgia beat us twice.
Still have the loss, the physical nature of it, the mental, just so close to that play or impact today.
You know, it's easy to sit back now and say probably, but I don't think, our guys responded really well. We had a good Tuesday, Wednesday practice. Thursday was for the most part pretty good. I think the part that was disappointing was, that our response in the first half was just so many negative things. It was a bad defensive start for us, and then it carried into our offense, turning the ball over, and then our defense had a poor response, and obviously nothing really went our way.
You have somebody downhill running like Chuck.
Yeah. Well, I think first and foremost that we have to really look at what we're doing up front. Whether we're setting the front a certain way or they definitely had a plan to come downhill at us and creased us a couple times, and they were just leaning forward, and it seemed like they're getting 3, 4, 6 yards every time, and that can't be tolerated.
I think you could. Missed extra point, was that?
Yeah, well, I think it was a combination. There was a guy kind of flushing that left A gap. We didn't have great kite on the kick, but I will say this, McFain, unless you're too tall Jones, you're not going to block any of his kicks. I mean, those are getting up in a hurry.
That was only like 10 minutes and 45 seconds. I don't know what I was trying to put it on there.
Good play.
Yeah, I don't know if it was ankle, knee, I don't know what it was. Shoulder. Hey, Bob.